Net worth is a simple indicator of your financial health. While it doesn't tell you everything you need to know, keeping tabs on your net worth is helpful for a few reasons. Doing so will show you exactly how much progress you're making. Building wealth takes a long time. It can sometimes be discouraging if it feels like you're not making the progress you'd hope for. From one week to another, it can feel like nothing is improving, especially with variations in the value of your assets. If the stock market does poorly for a few months, this can be very disappointing because your net worth might actually be going down. Keeping an eye on the big picture and the changes over a longer period of time is a good idea. When you compare your net worth from one year to another, chances are that you're going to see progress. This video will outline exactly how to calculate your net worth. After, we'll discuss the best ways to increase your net worth, and finally, what's even more important than your net worth. My name is Chris, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. The first step is to add up all of your assets. Depending on how many you have, this can be a little confusing. For the sake of calculating net worth, an asset is anything that you own that has value. This includes any cash you have, money or stocks and brokerage accounts, retirement accounts, cryptocurrencies, and any financial institution accounts. Also include any equity you have in real estate, whether in your primary residence or an investment property. To determine your equity, subtract what you owe in the property from its value. For example, if your home is worth $400,000 but you owe $300,000, your equity is $100,000. You can get a rough estimate of the value of your home using a site like Zillow or Redfin. Even better, use comparable home sales in your area. Keep in mind that it's impossible to get the exact value without selling it, so this is merely an estimate. The same calculation can be applied to any vehicles you own, and their value can be estimated using a site like Kelley Blue Book or Carvana. As a rule of thumb, only consider assets that you could sell for more than $100. This avoids the headache of listing insignificant items, like a pair of shoes, for example. Any debts you have also need to be subtracted from your net worth. This is any money you owe, which could be student loans, medical bills, or a loan you got from a friend or family member. If you have $50,000 in student loans, these have no collateral, so they count directly against your net worth. This is why many recent college graduates have a negative net worth. Let's take a look at a couple of examples of two people with different scenarios. Bob is in his 20s and recently graduated from college. Bob has a nice salary but doesn't have much money saved yet. He has a car worth $30,000 with a loan balance of $23,000. He has some credit card debt that has been accumulated when he was trying to move into a new apartment after college and while looking for a job. These total about $8,000. After college, he also has about $30,000 in student loan debt. However, he's been working on saving a little bit of a cash buffer before trying to eliminate the debts, which consist of $5,000 in a checking account and $7,000 in savings. In total, he has a $30,000 car and $13,000 in cash, meaning the total value of all assets is $43,000. As far as debts go, there's $23,000 left on the car loan, $8,000 in credit card debt, and $30,000 in student loans, totaling $61,000. $43,000 in assets minus $61,000 in debt leaves Bob with a net worth of negative $18,000. Mary is in her 50s with a reasonable job and has been careful with her money over her career. She purchased her home 15 years ago and it's now worth about $650,000 with a mortgage balance of $100,000. She set aside money for retirement and has $470,000 in her 401k, as well as $190,000 in her Roth IRA. In her savings account, she has a few months' worth of expenses totaling $23,000 with another $10,000 in her checking account. Mary's car is owned outright and has a value of $18,000. In total, she has a home worth $650,000, $470,000 plus $190,000 in retirement, $33,000 in cash, and $18,000 of equity in her car, which equates to $1,361,000. subtract her only debt of $100,000, and her net worth is $1,261,000, making her a millionaire. Now that you know how to properly calculate your net worth, you'll be able to properly track your financial progress over time. You can do this with a spreadsheet, a pen and paper, or an online net worth tracker. Getting into the habit of recording your net worth every few months or even once or twice per year will allow you to keep an eye on the big picture. There will be times when it feels like you're actually moving backwards, and this is common. When unexpected expenses arise and you're left with no choice other than to swallow a large expense, your net worth will probably go down. When the stock market or real estate market do not perform well, a decrease in your net worth is likely. Try not to feel defeated when this happens. Instead, focus on things you can control. Before we discuss why net worth isn't always the best measure of financial health, let's take a look at some things you can do that ensure your financial well-being is improving. Firstly, be careful with your spending and only buy things you can afford, living below your means. When you receive a raise or your income increases, don't rush out and spend every last penny of that increase. If you receive a $1,000 per month pay increase, don't finance a new car with an $800 payment and a $200 insurance increase. Instead, consider spending $100 or $200 of that increase while saving the rest. Secondly, be serious about paying off your debt, especially those with high interest rates and the ones that are terrible for your net worth, like medical, student, or credit card debt. Look into a debt payoff strategy like the debt avalanche or the debt snowball that will help you become debt-free as soon as possible. Paying down the balances of your debts is guaranteed to increase your net worth. Thirdly, invest as much money as you comfortably are able to. When the markets are down, this is an even better time to invest aggressively as the assets are selling at a discount. Even if it doesn't seem to be helping your net worth, you'll be thrilled with the contributions that you made once the markets recover. Net worth certainly provides insight into your financial well-being, but in the end, it's not very relevant. What's really important to pay attention to is the amount of money you receive in passive income. This is what's going to pay your bills and fund your daily expenses. The income will pay your housing cost, your transportation, food bills, and traveling costs. The amount of income you're earning without working is what will ultimately determine when you can retire. For example, if you have a real estate portfolio bringing in $100,000 per year and your annual expenses are $60,000, what difference does it make what your net worth is? Once your passive income exceeds your expenses, you're financially independent and you no longer have to work. Someone could have a net worth of $3 million but have no sources of passive income, meaning they can't retire. On the other hand, someone could have a net worth of $100,000 and be fully retired. Ideally, you should track your net worth as well as your passive income. This isn't something you need to do daily, weekly, or monthly. In fact, keeping an overly close eye on these figures could do more harm than good. Instead, do this quarterly, twice per year, or just once per year, and you'll be surprised at the progress you're making.